Hello and welcome back to Blue Crescent Tarot. My name is Deanne and I am here today to participate in a tag that Mascha started at Musings by Mascha. And this is a 16 prompt tag, though you can change that. It's very flexible. You can include any of your favorites in tarot. So the hashtag is My Favorites in Tarot 2020, I believe. And I will have that, obviously, when you're watching this, it will already be in the title. So that is the tag. And what she did was she created 16 categories that fit the decks that she wanted to show that were her favorites in 2020, right? So you can use decks that you received or purchased in 2020, or those that you worked with the most, reached for the most. Doesn't have to be limited to what you got this year. Maybe you did not buy 16 decks this year like I have. So it's very flexible. You can make whatever choices you want in terms of that, and you can also tweak the categories if they don't exactly fit what you have. I've done that only for, I think, 3 or 4. I think it was 4 because of the Marseille stuff, but we'll get there. So in this description, I will have all of the prompts that Mascha created, and then I will list all of the ones that I've actually used and note where I've made changes. So I actually managed to use decks that I did receive in 2020. So for me, this video is decks that I've received or purchased in 2020 that are my favorites, either to fit these categories or, again, there are a couple tweaks. So narrowing it to 2020 actually helped me to make choices, and this actually worked out really well. So the first prompt is your favorite collage deck. Now, I don't believe I got a collage deck in 2020. I love Star Child and Moonchild, but those I've had, and again, I wanted to see if I could make it work with just decks from 2020. So I changed the first one to my favorite creature deck, and I've been thinking about doing a hashtag for this, like creatures or non-human decks, not necessarily animals, but just non-human. And so my number one prompt is my favorite creature deck, which for me is the Monstarot. This is by Joanna Nelson. I actually have her Whispering Spirits Tarot, which has similar creatures in it. That one I got at the end of 2019 though. So this was a Kickstarter that came out near the beginning of 2020. It might have been March or something like that. I think like first quarter. So my favorite creature deck, since I didn't have a collage deck, and I'll just show you a couple. Everyone loves a hermit, right? So here we have the hermit. And 7 of Swords. Look at that sneaky little one. So cute though, right? 2 of Wands. So by and large, it reads very much like an RWS. You could definitely tell if you're familiar with that system what's going on here. The Queen of Pentacles with some other little creatures. So yeah, that is my my first choice. I really love this and the Whispering Spirits. They're just really great, I think. Let's see where I can put this where I won't really build myself in here. So the second prompt is your favorite pocket or travel size deck, and mine would be I believe this is called Don't Panic by Veronica Jude. It was initially unnamed, did not have a title when she first put it out on Make Playing Cards, but I think she's gone with, I just say I think because I've been making stuff up lately and it's kind of strange. So I don't know if you can make it out here, but it says Don't Panic right here, and I think these are the backs, and this is, I think, like if you're standing at the bottom of a cavern or a canyon and looking up at the stars, it kind of makes that little river in the sky. I think that's what this view is, and it says Don't Panic. So I think that's the name of it. It's available on Make Playing Cards, lots of different, you can get a mini or a regular size, and there are different card stocks as well. So I have this mini in plastic, and then I have the larger one in a matte, and that one has a gilding option too. So I have that. Don't know where that one is at the moment, actually. So this is, I think, the name of it. It's available on Make Playing Cards, lots of different, you can get a mini or a regular size, and there are different card stocks as well. So I have this mini in plastic, and then I have the larger one in a matte, and that one has a gilding option too. So I have that. Don't know where that one is at the moment, actually. So this is let's see. This deck is all words and images. That sounds silly. Like there's a quote or a phrase on each one. So like here's one of the quotes, the doer. Losers focus on winners, winners focus on winning. Conor McGregor. Right, so this is, let's see, red would be the knight. These are unmarked, so you can switch these around and create your own formation in the deck. I will be reading them as the true order that she put them out in because I happen to read quartz like Veronica Jude does and like Katie Flowers does, and that is with the pages as air and the kings as earth. So a little bit different than the associations that some people have. But again, with this deck, you can make the quartz whatever you want. There are colors that clue me into what's going on, but you can switch those, right? So yellow are the pages. So here's one. So blue are the queens, right, for water. And because those elements are changed, the suits are changed, the elements are changed as well. But I think pretty much everyone reads queens as water. And so here we have the mystic counselor, Stevie Nicks. And so I would know that this is the Queen of Cups because one of the title and then of the color. So, but never have I been a blue calm sea. I have always been a storm. So I am planning actually to label my big copy of this and keep this one unmarked. Most of them I'm familiar with now, but in a couple years, if I forget what they are, there's going to be a PDF released at some point, but I'm just going to label a deck so I know for sure. The Mastermind, this is the Queen of, it's M&M, so right, like it's gender fluid in terms of, you know, the queens don't have to be female, the kings don't have to be male, etc. But see, now I don't know. I think this is Swords. The Queen of Swords is M&M. I say what I want. I say what I want to say and do what I want to do. There's no in between. People will either love you for it or hate you for it, right? So that's a very kind of Queen of Swords sentiment there. And then the Executive in her deck would be green for Earth because that's, again, how she reads them. But you can move this around. Or you can read it as the king and just not have that earth element associated with it. But anyway, there's that. Moving along. My most beautiful deck from 2020. This was difficult because a lot of great things came out, but the very first thing I thought of was the Shimmering Veil by Cilla Conway. So let's do this. Here are the backs, and it's sort of, I would describe the artwork sort of as like dreamy, ethereal, abstract, but not like entirely, right? Like you can tell what's going on, but it's just sort of, it's just beautiful. I would definitely say this is my most beautiful deck of 2020. And this is the second edition, right? I believe, yeah. I wanted to wait. I almost bought one at the end of the first edition, but she had posted about like the money that she was losing basically. Oh, here's one of my favorites. Was stuck to the book a little. Not stuck, but that basically she hadn't set the price high enough to sort of counterbalance production and shipping and everything like that. And so then I waited until she had it reset so that I wasn't kind of skimping her out of money that way. Most beautiful. So the most unique, so this is number 1, 2, 3, this is number 4, the most unique deck, or the one with its own system, like a sort of standalone kind of thing, maybe like an oddball. And for this one, I chose And remember, I'm going to be including Mascha's original list. So, and this is her original list, and then I'm telling you if I tweak this a little bit. But later on, I've added another most unique slash fun for one of the categories that I didn't have. And so again, this one is as she had it, unique or own system. And so for that one, I chose the Margarete Petersen. So this is a tarot deck. It's 78 cards, and the suit structure is there, but it's different in that the meanings might be a little more interpretive. There are poems in the book that sort of give you the meaning. I have the German version, so I have no idea what the poems say. I will be getting the white box version at some point in 2021. I'm on a no deck December I've put myself on because I have enough to work with for now, and I need to wait until the new year to add anything else to my little tarot library, my growing tarot library. So let me see, just sort of 9, this is going to be 9 of water. I don't really even know how to say it, but I think that's 9 of water. And so again, sort of similar to the Shimmering Veil, I would say that this one is, you know, you can see the paintbrush strokes. It's sort of intuitive, abstract art type of thing. I'm going to try to find another one. So here's the Chariot, right? And you can see there's a black and white creature there, black and white animal. So it kind of gives you a clue, but in some of them, you won't really have that clue, right? Let's see. I think this is the Ace of Pentacles. And these are big, like oracle size card too. So this burgundy version had been on my wish list in particular for a while, and I was able to get this secondhand this year. And so that is my most unique slash its own system sort of deck. So the system again is the same, but the meanings are given in poem. So there's that. Next we have your favorite nature or animal deck of 2020, and that is a very easy answer, the Oak, Ash, and Thorn by Three Trees Tarot. I haven't used this a ton. I've gone through and I've journaled a couple of cards, but I haven't done like a full reading with it or anything yet. It's beautiful. The quality is really great. And there is a second run coming of this. So if you missed out, do follow the creators on Instagram or Facebook. I think in For Love of Cards on Facebook, Stephanie posted just recently the dates for the next run, and I can't think right now what it is, but the second run is coming, and that will be great. So here's Six of Wands, so beautiful. Just a very peaceful storybook kind of vibe. Artwork is by Adam Ohlers, and the Mushroom Garden book finished up on Kickstarter, I think just last week. I actually did not back it because again I had to kind of cut myself off from some things. But here's the Eight of Swords, right? So we have different animals for the different suits. So just really beautiful. And here's the Sun card. I love this card so much. A Sun card with rain? Yes, please. That is just perfect to me. I love it so much. So hands down, easy answer, my favorite nature animal deck. And then it comes with little cards with the meanings on. So, can I get this back in here? And it is a tuck box, but it's the kind that folds down a little extra, so you can at least get your thumb in there to kind of get them out, and it doesn't really dig up the cards. I may or may not keep it in this box because I kind of like the design and everything like that, so we'll see. Okay, the next one is your favorite RWS from 2020, and I didn't get a lot of RWS. I mean, strictly, I don't know, this could probably mean any anything modeled after RWS. So like the Monstarot could have fit for that, right? Again, it's flexible, but I wanted to pick specifically like an RWS clone, so to speak. And mine would be the Renewed. This might have been the only, I have one or two on the way, but this is my only one from 2020, and I do really enjoy it. I actually have it in order because I wanted to do a walkthrough. This was a Kickstarter deck by Cloud of Seeking Celestial Grace, and this person is in a couple of the card groups, again on Facebook. I think they have a couple other projects coming up or a couple other decks available. I haven't been into this a lot, but the concept of it is really cool to me. So here are the backs. Really pretty. And then the idea of it is that it sort of reminds me of like some Kabbalah style decks that have like the meanings around the borders, the different symbols and codes. And it does include the path, like relating to Kabbalah. So if you use that, this is a great kind of mix of those things, but you don't have to by any means. It's still, it would be a great teaching or learning deck. So here's the Fool. Connects crown to wisdom, path 11. So that's what we have at the top. And that's again a Kabbalah correspondence. And then we have along the left side, air, innocence, immobility. And then, so like that immobility is written in black. And so that would be like the reverse, which I don't read reversals, but if you do, that's great. I read the whole thing holistically. So, you know, I would include that based on what else is showing up in the reading if I felt that was necessary. And then along the right side, we have Spirit of Aether. And then along the bottom, Beginnings, Journeys, Naive, New Cycle. So the images are meant to be this sort of, some people had complained after the fact that the images looked blurry. But to be fair, the creator in her description of what this was said that, right? That it's sort of this unfocused, the paint style was supposed to give that effect. And so, I don't know, I felt bad for her because, you know, she had sent something, an additional message out on Kickstarter, you know, apologizing, like people had gotten upset or something, and I can't think, I'm not the best with the art. This just talks about her wish for your learning and all of that. I wonder if it says in here. Anyway, the art style of this we'll get into when I do a walkthrough, but it is this sort of like, I don't want to say blurry because that's what the complaint was, but here's the Hermit, and I don't know if you can see like the style of paint. You can see the little markings in it. And again, I really like it. It was as it was sold to me, as it was described. So I'm very happy with this. I think it's cool to have little nerdy study decks like this with all the different correspondences. So was really looking forward, am looking forward to getting to use this more and to do a walkthrough soon. So that is my favorite RWS of 2020. The next one is your most whimsical deck of 2020. So that for me has to be the Conway Tarot, and this was on my list. This is an inexpensive little deck. I think it's maybe $12, $13, $14, something like that. And I just put it in this little box that my mom had given me. A daughter is a little girl who grows up to be a friend. So sweet. So this had some little gift in it years ago, and I was am slowly making progress on cleaning my tarot room, and I came across that and I thought that's gonna fit my little Conway Tarot so well. I had it in a bigger bag and it was just driving me kind of crazy. So here's the Fool. This is just little like coated cardboard stock. Cardstock is not great. but I shouldn't say that. It's not super lush and super high quality, right? Here's Ace Pentacles. Here are the backs. Just super cute, and I wanted this for a long time. I love Lenormand and I love simple little symbol kind of things. I also love busy artwork, but there's just something about, like, look at the Hermit. It's just that little lamp. It is so cute. And again, this was something I had thought about for a long time. The Lovers. It's just precious. Oh, I think I showed the backs already. So it's a pip deck, right? We have Two of Cups. Just that simple, just really cute. We have swords for the swords and pence for the pence. Here's the star, right? Just a star. Super cute. 10 of, what is that? Wands with the lollipops. Super cute. 7 of Cups with the moon. That's interesting. 6 of Wands, right? So the wands are different kinds of candy, like candy canes and lollipops, and then the swords are actually swords. The quartz, just a face, and they're different faces, right? So yeah, really cute. The High Priestess is a moon with a couple little stars there, and obviously they're labeled too, but it is just really cute, simple kind of stuff. I was gonna show maybe a couple more. The World, just the wreath. So this is definitely my most whimsical deck. I'd wanted it for a long time, and I finally just bit the bullet because I thought it's, you know, $14 or whatever it was. Here's the box. I'm sure you've kind of seen it around, and there's a really nice book with it. And one of the things I really loved was that this creator uses is it called a Romney spread? That's always what I say, but I can't remember if she called it something else. She did call it a Romney spread, and that's how I used to read tarot cards when I first started, and I still need to figure out how to get this camera set up. It's this huge crazy tripod. I just think I need a different setup. My husband is very nice and letting me use his fancy equipment, but I think it's just not really the best for what I'm trying to do. But anyway, I need to get that figured out to kind of show those bigger spreads still. I feel like I mention it in about every video. But because she had the same type of Romney spread listed in her book, that just pushed me over the edge, and I was so excited. I was like, yes, this is my favorite thing, right? That's just my what I use for myself a lot and for clients at times too. So there's that one. List. Oh, right here in front of me. It's right here. So bless her heart, Mascha had a category for type 1 Tarot de Marseille and type 2 Marseille. I don't know what those mean. She gave a little context in this video, but she also has a video that just explains that and goes really in depth. She was talking about the directional facing of the moon, right? One way means type 1, the other way means type 2. Anyway, I didn't have to worry about that because I don't have like historical Marseille decks anyway. So these are two categories that I switched, and on her list she said type 1 and then type 2, or any favorite like Marseille style or pip deck for the second one. I'm doing that for both because, again, I don't have like traditional historical Marseille. I have Marshmallow, Serene, New Choice, and I have the Seventh Sphere, which is partially Marseille, has Marseille pips. So lucky for me though, I received the Marshmallow Marseille and the Tarot Serene, both this year in 2020, and they are super cute, and I'm so happy to have them. I'm just gonna pull one from each. Well, let's see here. So so here we have the Cavalier, or the Knight of Cups, and the Tarot Serene. This is like a underwater based deck, right? And the Queen. And these are the backs. I believe this is the second edition of both of these. Marshmallow might be more than the second, I'm not sure. But these again were things I was thinking about pretty early on when I joined the tarot community. When I first saw them, I thought, oh, okay, those are on my list. And at first it was just the Marshmallow, and then the Tarot Serene came out as well. So here are the backs of my edition of this. And pips are mostly traditional, you know, the form of them, the layout. And then just to show you, so here we have Knight of Swords, and this is like the earthy version, and Tarot Serene is like the water version, right? So here we have Justice. She is just beautiful. So I do like Marseille. I love pip decks, but I'm not so into like the more historical one. Just the artwork doesn't really do it for me at this time. Who knows, it may change, but I'm happy having my cute little candy shop kind of Marseilles to play with, because that's just what I love. So those are my quote-unquote type 1 and type 2, but really just Marseille that I received this year, my favorites. Okay, the next one is really cool. So the prompt is your favorite hobby or culture in a deck. And what I used is a little bit different than that, because I don't know that I really have anything that specifically answers that, but I do have an amazing deck that is just about hobbies and about seeking your everyday passion and really embracing that. And it's called the Inspired Soul Tarot by Julie Rose, and she's in this tarot community. Here's the title card. She has a channel, which I will link. These are the backs. And this is available on Make Playing Cards. I bought this and her Lenormand deck this year, and I could not be happier. They are, again, so cute, and I just really love the kind of, again, simple but beautiful imagery. So here's the Tower. Here's the Star, nice constellation. So the point is, though, like, the different suits relate to different hobbies. So for wands, we have paintbrushes, right? So these are everyday passions. 6 of Pentacles is 6 of buttons in this deck, and that suit relates to sewing, right? So then the quartz are outfits. It's just really awesome. Here we have 8 of Swords, which are writing. The suit represents writing. Here's the Sun card. The mages are so cute. I'm going to do a walkthrough of this, so I'm not going to show a ton. Here we have Strength in the mirror. And then this would be Queen of Wands, right? So we're in that paintbrush suit, but we have the black cat and the sunflower, the symbols, but with the painting, right? So it's just really nice how it all ties together. The moon, right? The majors are not within those hobby suits, right? The majors are pretty standard, but still different, right? Like done in her own cute way. The cups are wine cups, wine glasses. So here we have the 6. And again, this is a pip deck. So the aces show each item for that element. The Magician, right? We have construction, like a construction hat and a hammer, books, a chef's hat, painting supplies, right? So there's all the tools, right? All the potentials for the different suits. The High Priestess, I love this card so much. So again, I won't show all of them, but like here's the Queen of Buttons, which would be Queen of Pentacles. We have this beautiful dress, right? So that's how they kind of play out. Again, I'm going to do a walkthrough of this later, but really love this, and this was created in 2020 as well. So created and purchased in 2020. Super love that. Inspired Soul Tarot for my hobby or culture deck. And there is a little bit of culture that is different from mine, because one of the cards in here shows a little like ancestral sacred space or altar. And so I thought that was funny. It kind of hit both of those. I'm like, oh, there's a tiny bit of, you know, someone else's culture in that deck. So the next one would be your favorite story or myth deck. And for me, that would be the Mythical Creatures Tarot. This is my one and only Baba Studios deck. I got this year. Super beautiful. Love it. This was actually Mascha's pick as well. Here's the King of Coins. And each card relates to a different myth. And the book is just amazing. Here's the Page of Swords. I did buy the big book with this. So just showing you a couple from there so we can keep this moving along here. And let's see, the next one would be your favorite for cardstock or deck production. Okay, so had a minor technical difficulty, but I think everything is okay now. I really think I need to address this whole camera situation, but for now, the 5 Cent Tarot, and this would be my pick for the best cardstock slash deck production for 2020. This is the second edition of this deck, and I really enjoy it. This might be my only linen cardstock deck. Maybe there's one other, but it's definitely the only type, the only one I have of this particular type of linen deck. So I would have to think about the others, but I chose the lavender backs. And I do have another linen deck on the way now, my CS Tarot that I just ordered the other day. This deck is just so nice. I have a lot of like rose petal finish and that kind of like lush matte cardstock, and I do love that. I don't mind if it's not easy to riffle shuffle. I'm fine with overhand shuffling. I love that kind of really rich feeling. This is just really cool though. I like the linen a lot more than I thought I would. And because of the color and everything, the edges, and it's just really well done. The box is beautiful. I mean, it's a standard good box, but just really clean, perfect, closes nice. There's nothing wonky about the magnet or anything like that. Just really great. And the deck is very interesting, has keywords and sort of this like old circus vibe, or like a fair, right? Is that what I'm trying to think of? So like here's the cover created by Madame Clara. So it's just a really interesting deck. Again, I think great as like a learner study deck, something like that, but as cardstock and production, this is the one that came to mind. Again, I have a lot of beautiful ones, but this was just really something kind of new for me and very beautiful production quality. So that would be my pick for that. And then my favorite modern deck, this was hard to, I thought about the Spacious Tarot 2nd edition, which I got this year. That's really beautiful, but I haven't used that one as much as the one that I chose. So I am going with the Lost Forest. This is the 2nd edition. This is just my year for 2nd editions. I really love this deck. Now, some people have complained about the back because it's a different texture. Like there are pieces that are sort of not matte, but almost like regular cardstock. There's a little roughness to it, but I mean, I'm being really really liberal with that word. What do I want to say? There's some of it is totally smooth, and some of it has a little bit, like I can feel where those sort of more matte looking spots are. I love this cardstock, but I just wanted to mention that in case that's going to weird you out, having two different textures on the back. I love it. I sit and shuffle this deck overhand so much. I love the quality. I love the feel of it. And it's definitely my favorite modern deck this year, the one I've used the most. Here's the Sun card. I really love this. The dragon skeleton for Judgment. The Page of Oceans. I love this deck. Page of Earth. This is one of my favorites with that little glow creature. So this would be my favorite modern deck. Page of Skies. If you put these together, it sort of is like the Prismavisions. When you put it together, it makes this big panoramic, and I just really enjoy this deck. So this would be my favorite. Two of Skies. My favorite modern deck of this year. The Emperor. Just awesome. I love it. Okay, so I actually bought the Majors Only of the first edition while I was waiting for this one to come out, and that's the only Majors Only I have. I work with Majors Only sometimes, but I just take them out of complete decks. So if that tells you anything, I had to have just a piece of it in my hands before the second edition was available. And that's by Chelsea Santa Maria. I'll have at least probably not links for everything, but we'll have the deck names and creators in the description box for you, of course. My next one is favorite art deck. So I think this means like your favorite art in a deck. I think it can be anything. I don't think it necessarily has to be an art deck. And again, this is totally flexible, right? Mascha says, show me what you have. I want to see your favorites. You could make 16 of your own categories or 10 of your own categories, whatever you want to do. Again, the hashtag is just my favorites in tarot 2020. So please play along and participate. It doesn't matter if you have these categories or not. But when I saw art deck, I just thought Majestic Earth, right? So that deck is created using pre-existing art, and then those are tied to the different tarot card associations. So again, I think she means that was one part. I watched her video yesterday, and I was kind of working at the same time, and so I missed what she said about that, the clarification for the art deck. But anyway, can be whatever you want, and mine is the Majestic Earth. This came back up on the creators like direct on their publishing site, and someone I was in a little message thread with said, hey, Majestic Earth is back up, and I was so happy because I had really wanted this. This is one of the few of those, you know, that I thought, oh, I missed the boat on that and really wish I had it. So was glad to see that it came back into print for a little bit. They had like factory seconds at a discount, and then they had some that were there was a standard edition and whatever this edition is called, the fancy edition. That's not right, but you know what I mean. And so I got that. I just went all out because I thought I really wanted this. I had remembered seeing Sandra at the Whispering Well show this and thought, oh, dang, I really want that. So was very happy to see it come back into publication for a bit. I believe they're all gone again now, but who knows what the future holds. So again, different art pieces that are then put into the tarot formation. So this is the moon card that's in my copy. And speaking of Sandra, she has a different moon card in hers, and maybe some others. I'm not entirely sure. But in a video she put up, oh, maybe it wasn't recently. Maybe I just watched it recently. And she showed her moon card. It's different than this. And she does have the Kickstarter version. So there may be some slight changes. I'm not sure. But I said, hey, my moon is different than yours. So anyway, that would be my favorite art deck for 2020. Just beautiful. I used this for my daily draws in October, and it was beautiful for that purpose. Okay, two more. So here is the second category that I really changed, right? I sort of changed the Marseille, and I definitely changed the first prompt from collage deck to creature deck. So this category is your favorite vintage deck, and I did not get any vintage decks this year. Not really my thing usually. So I changed this category completely to another one that's most unique, right? We had for number 4, we had most unique or its own system. And so now for this one, I have made it your most unique or fun deck, right? And I have chosen the Eyes Wide Tarot by Robin Crutchfield, who is also in this Tarot Tube community. So now I've used Veronica Jude's deck and Julie Rose's deck and Robin's deck. So I don't have a vintage deck. This is like the opposite of that. Unique and fun. Unique because of the stick figures that are the representations of the people in this deck. And look at the colors. It's amazing, right? This is another pip deck, 6pence, 3 cups. It's very fun. Ace of Swords, bright, simple, super cute. Here's the star. This is one of my favorites. So there you have it. That's my second to last choice, unique and fun deck. And then the very last prompt is either your favorite Besançon, which is another type of Marseille, I believe, like from that region. I only know that from my years of ballet, so I think that's what it's referring to. Or your favorite of the year. And so again, because I don't have all that Marseille stuff, I went with my favorite deck of the year, and that has to be the Idiosyncra deck. This was my dream deck for so long, and I finally got this secondhand. So incredibly happy. This has hands down my favorite deck of 2020 that I received this year because it's just amazing. 2 cups. So happy. The Hermit. I feel like I always show the same little ones, but it's just where I'm flipping through. Knight of Arrows. The Hierophant. This is probably my favorite card. I have this as an art print. I really love it. Like, might have to get it tattooed someday. 10 of Stones. The Jewelry Cabinet. Are you kidding me? It's perfect. I love this deck. Did you know? You probably know. Ace of Stones. So amazing. So there you have it. My favorite deck of 2020. My sweet little Idiosyncra deck. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you so much for hanging out and checking out my 16 favorites, right? Again, this can be whatever you want. I hate tuck boxes. Oh my god. Why? Why? I cannot handle it. And you're gonna see my freak out in the video because I'm not gonna edit. I do have to edit this one actually because the battery died right before the 5-cent tarot. So if it looks all crazy right before I show the 5-cent, that's why. Excuse me. You're gonna see that too probably. So, as I was saying, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope you also participate in #MyFavoritesInTarot 2020. Until next time, love to you all.